And you know where we're going to start. Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons. That man.
I don't want to work.
I don't want to bang on it. Green Bay Packer. Micah Parsons. With this move being made, does this change your expectations for the Packers? And should they be seen as like top tier contenders in the NFC now?
To answer your first question, not one bit. I already had them being the Super Bowl or bust. So this just makes me more confident that that's the case. But no, I don't think they were like a pass rusher away, but I think that they had a clear need on the defense, especially for what we know Halfley wants to do, which is basically create havoc and create turnovers and have explosive plays. Like it's kind of like a hand in glove fit. And like they have like the clean cap sheet to kind of go forward. Like if there was any team that could kind of absorb the money that it would take, which was a lot of money, and like is clean as far as like how many picks they're out going into their future, like it was Green Bay. So I love the fit of the player and the situation and on the cap sheet. So I'm all good with it.
Another young player that fits what they've been looking for in that defense, which is younger players that can grow into the system, be a part of it for the next couple of years. 26 years old.
Yeah, so in the last 2 off seasons, they've added Xavier McKinney, Josh Jacobs, and Michael Parsons, all under the age of 26, all on long-term contracts. Like,
don't say we don't spend no money. And don't say we don't go after nobody. You can't say that at least for another 3-4 years.
I mean, the thing with the Packers, like the Packers way is a real thing. Like Ron Wolf really did create that. They still use those philosophies in the way that they draft and their overall like
player
ideology.
Yeah.
But every GM has had a little bit different of like a way they like to fill out their roster. Like Goody is a guy who does not mind free agency. He does not mind he'll do it. He's probably
the right deals there.
Of the GMs, he's probably like the most likely to that we've had over the last couple decades. The most likely to, unless you think it's Ted.
Hell no. So Ted, I was gonna say Ron Wolf would go into free agency, but he was also kind of building the thing from the ground up.
Yeah.
So
he was big on the draft
because Reggie obviously, but you had Sean Jones, you had Keith Jackson, like Desmond Mason was.
Andre Rison for one season.
Andre Rison.
We did have Rison.
One season for the Super Bowl season. That's it.
Desmond Howard was what I was trying to say.
Desmond Howard.
So like he would go into free agency, and they brought in a lot of big names, which more power to him. But like Ted, Ted was like, unless we getting you on the cheap, I believe in the people that I drafted, and he was very successful doing so. So like I know a lot of people were like, man, we just need to spend some money. It's like we're spending money on the players that we brought in, and that worked too. So like I don't know, like it whatever your philosophy is, just stick to it. Like I don't want somebody that's just chasing like what worked for somebody else. It's like have the conviction in what you believe in and see it through.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I see Charlene said, with all respect to Kenny Clark, but we got Parsons for peanuts. And I think first we should say shout out to Kenny Clark.
Yeah, bro. Like all due respect, like he was all pro here. He put in the work. He was hurt last year, so we ain't see him that often. But he was a good dude, good player, and I don't think he's gonna do bad in Dallas. Like when he's healthy, he is a good interior player.
Yeah. Sorry, can we highlight Serial Sensei's comment?
Serial Sensei said, after that Micah Parsons move, I need the N-word Jerry Jones tape to drop because, bruh. I have not seen or talked to a Cowboys fan that has had anything good to say about Jerry Jones since this move has happened. And that's off the heels of the Cowboys documentary coming out that everybody's been watching. But maybe Jerry's watching that too and being like, you know what? I need to show up and remind people who I am. No, I'm not giving in to what he say. I'm making the stand. And hearing Jerry Jones rationalize why they did it, it reminded me of the Family Guy joke. And I don't even watch Family Guy like that, but I've seen this clip so many times where Peter is like, he has a boat. They're like, you can have a boat or his mystery box. And he's like, oh, I really want a boat. And then his wife was like,
what's in the box?
Yeah, his wife was like, take the boat then. And he's like, but the box could be a boat.
The box could be anything.
It could be anything. I feel like that explains this trade where Jerry Jones is like, yeah, Micah Parsons was really good, but like these draft picks,
we can turn that into a player.
We can get more Micah Parsons. But it's like you had Micah Parsons.
Oh, he got one.
And it's hard to get a Micah Parsons, man. Like, he's been all pro like every year, except I think last year because he was hurt. He didn't, get to play much. He's been a pro bowler every single year. Like,
52 sacks through 4 seasons is nuts.
Yeah.
That's nuts, bro.
I think it was... I watched, like, the press conferences of Goody and LaFleur.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot which one it was. I think it was Goody, but they were saying, like, he was a top 12 pick or whatever it was, just based off of being like a stand-up linebacker that was a flag against hell, that was versatile. And then he got to NFL and he was just like a monster pass rusher. So you take for granted, not take for granted, but like the sacks is like the headline, but it's like he's a complete football player beyond that. Like, he can drop into coverage and you're just fine. But because pass rushing is such a premium, it's like,
and he can do it so well.
Right.
It's like, we're going to utilize you in this. And that's the thing, like, that gets me excited. It's like, how is Jeff Hafley going to utilize him in this defense? Like, last year he had to do a lot of like simulated pressures or bring in 5 or sometimes even 6 because he could not get consistent pressure rushing for. It's like, well, now you got Micah Parsons. What do you do? Like, Rashawn Gary should have a breakout year. Like, Rashawn Gary should finally get at least 10 sacks this season. He's never done it. This is going to be the year because Micah Parsons on the other side with all this attention. Like, this opens up so much for the Packers. And to go back to the initial question of like, does this change expectations? You see them as a top tier contender in the NFC now? For me, it does change the expectations in the sense that like, I was willing to give the Packers a little bit more grace. I'm like, okay, maybe one more year or so, but next year, like, the pressure's up. Now it's like, nope, I need to see an NFC Championship game.
At least.
Like, I need it. I need to see it. I need to see it. Because this offseason, Goody talked about urgency. He said, this is a team that has a lot of urgency, and people thought that meant he was going to be in free agency going buck wild at Crenshaw. And that ain't what the case, that ain't what it was. He was like, I want urgency from the guys we have on this roster. Like, yes, we are a young team. We've been the youngest team the last 2 years. They're one of the youngest teams again this year. They might
got younger.
They got younger.
I think we're the youngest team again with the trade.
They were the youngest team, I think, with Kenny Clark still. So we'll see how the official numbers shake out with cut downs and all that stuff that's happened. But like, they're a young team with experience. So the young part of it, I'm not trying to hear that no more. Like, it's time to produce. It is time to produce.
I always bring everything back to the NBA, but it's kind of like OKC, where it's like, y'all young, but like, you've also been through it now multiple times. So it's kind of like, you can't keep using youth as an excuse.
At least you can't use the young and dumb no more. You're young and experienced now. Like, get your shit together. Like, you grow up fast enough.
And one last thing on Micah Parsons before we move on to just some more general football. I think it was Sean Lynn who had the comment about getting them for peanuts. When the Bears acquired Khalil Mack, and we had talked about it because the Packers were in on it. We were hoping the Packers got him. The Bears ended up getting him. We were like, God dang it. Like, you went to Chicago. This sucks. The Bears received Khalil Mack, a 2020 second round pick, and a 2020 conditional 5th round pick. They traded away a 2019 first, a 2020 first, a 2020 third, and a 2019 6th. So they traded 4 draft picks. Yes, they got 2 back. You have to account for that. But for the Packers to get Micah Parsons, it was 2 first round picks, Kenny Clark, and that's it. Straight up. That's it. Like,
it's all just from ego and hate. That's all.
What's from ego and hate?
I feel like so the wild part is, of all the teams, the Packers. Of all the teams, the Packers. And I feel like, again, the ego and the hate part comes in with the refusal to talking to the man's agent, to like having the EPA getting involved because of the fact that Jerry Jones, refused to talk to the man's, like, this claim from refusal to talk to an agent is nuts. So then after all of that, the hate and the ego comes in and like, oh, well, shit, we're going to do it my way or the highway. So I don't give a shit what I get back for. I'm going to get something back, but I'm going to get you up out of here. Where I don't understand is, of all the teams, especially with the way that you describe the Packers in the dock of breaking your franchise damn near. He was hurt,
boy. He was hurt at that Jordan Love, that last loss to the Packers.
To trade him to that very team.
Well, here's his reasoning behind it. One, he said he was only looking at teams that had enough cap space to absorb that contract.
Saw that.
So that was only like 6 or 7 teams, if I remember correctly. And then he said what he knew the Cowboys were weak was interior defensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
So then they were only also looking at teams who could absorb him, but also had a defensive, lineman interior that could stop the run and produce at a high level. And if the team didn't have that, they weren't interested either. It kind of also turned out to be just kind of like a perfect synergy for the fact that the Packers do have a Kenny Clark that they could trade in this situation. Like, yeah, the rivalry, I get it for sure. And I know Cowboy
Same conference.
fans. Yeah, but it's not like trading him to the Eagles.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it ain't
that would have been my of all teams, the Eagles.
Yeah.
Like Packers are at least a tier or two below of all teams. Like it would be the Chiefs would be up there where it's like of all the rich get richer. Like the Packers are kind of like, yes, it sucks, but it's like they're not worried about us, and we don't.
I'm just going straight off their franchise history. We have stopped them several years, several games, several playoffs, comeback games.
They've also done the same to
us.
That 90s.
Was the 90s were
Cowboys only. That's how I became a Packers fan, watching the Cowboys brutalize them, and my Uncle Michael being like, "Well, which one of these teams is going to be your team?"
Yeah, that was my first notion of the Packers. Is like in school, just people being personally victimized by the Dallas Cowboys year in year out.
Honestly, those are my earliest Packer memories. Is losing to the Cowboys. Like, I can't remember anything before that. Like that's my earliest football memory. The Packers losing to the Cowboys.
There was a kid when I was in like first, second grade, and he was like the lone Cowboys fan in our class, and he got booed by the teacher.
To be honest, my most vivid Packer memory is Desmond Howard's kick return in the Super Bowl. Like 2AT, I can tell you where I was at, what I was doing. Like,
was that the first one?
Right.
That's my most vivid. I can't remember really anything before that. I was
then it is your first.
Maybe. I might remember something later. Like, you know how memory works. Sometimes some shit kick in later.
Sometimes things unlock.
Right. So it could, but my most vivid that I can remember 2AT every time is that one.
So we'll say that's your first Packers memory.
I think mine was I think there was like a blown pass interference in like the NFC Championship game in like 95, I guess. And like that was the first time I remember like being cognizant of football.
Yeah, mine was through ridicule. So
and I remember like the 75th anniversary patches. Like
I do remember those patches. Seeing those.
Yeah, but no,
really curious though, by the way, if y'all in the comments, if you can recall, like, what is the earliest football memory you can recall? Like, I am curious because I've never really thought about that before this moment. I know Sly in the comments here said that he's hated the Cowboys forever. So I get it.
Marcus said Reggie White got 3 sacks on Bledsoe in Super Bowl 31 for me.
Yep. Shell said that's how I became a real Packers fan. They kept losing to the Cowboys. Me and you same on that one. Like, I remember my Uncle Mike. You know how the commercials come on of like the V8, like, your Cowboys have won the fire tape, and he was like, I'm about to get the VHS right now. And I remember seeing in the cabinet, it was like Cowboys. Like, it was like a few of them in a row of just Cowboy VHSs.
Imagine if you picked your team in like 1995 and yeah, Cowboys, that's my shit. They win all the time.
See, that's the wild thing. I liked the Cowboys during that time.
See, I didn't. I really
like
hated them then.
I liked the Michael Irvin and the Emmitt Smith and Dean. Like, I liked them Cowboys. Troy Aikman and them. Like, I did.
Let's see. Shaolin said most vivid is 12's Hail Mary against Detroit.
How old are you?
He did say most vivid.
Okay, that's fair. Most vivid. Okay, you're doing the Tim thing here of answering the question a little bit differently, but
Marcus said, my grandma Pearl got me into the Packers in 1995. The Mud Bowl game against the 49ers is my favorite game, hands down.
See, I bought this DVD set. It was like the Packers' greatest games, and I can't play it. I ain't got no DVD player. I'm going to get one because I've been wanting to watch those games.
That even like laptops don't have.
No, they don't have ROM. No.
You still got your PlayStation 4?
No, I sold that mug. And our PS5 is digital.
Yeah.
So, I have a whole closet of Blu-rays and DVDs that I can't utilize. Now, I'm going to get one, though. I am going to get one because I believe physical media is coming back. Yeah. So I said I was on the news for the Super Bowl with the Robert Brooks jersey in the 90s. Vince Candela hosted a pep rally at school.
I was the same around that time, too.
That's a very Milwaukee-ass sentence.
You got Vince Candela to come to your school? Like, I'm low-key jealous. Vince Candela was the man. That's a Milwaukee legend right there. The weatherman that everybody trusted.
You know what? That's probably why it's the most vivid, because a lot of the stuff around the Super Bowl, like my school, like we had the whole pep rally and stuff like that. They had the green and gold Super Bowl song going on.
The Pack Arena.
All kinds of so like we was doing that and then, like the pep rallies and shit. Like that's probably why it's the most vivid, because like it was so much around that Super Bowl when we had it.
Okay. Shaolin also added that his earliest is Brett Favre's monster game when his
that
dad
motherfucker
passed.
gets the Raiders.
That's a vivid game.
Even still,
like, how old are you? That's still
early 2000s.
I was damn near an adult when that happened.
I was like, damn, that was supposed to see you.
No, but I was definitely like in high school when that game. No, was that? What year was that?
I feel like that was like 04?
03?
I want to say somewhere around there.
Might have been 02, because the Javon Walker, wasn't that like his rookie year too?
That I don't know.
I don't know if it was Javon, but I know it was against the Raiders.
It was definitely in.
I feel like it's 03 or 04.
03. December 22nd, 2003.
I was starting high school in 03.
I was freshman. Got a whole Wikipedia page.
That motherfucker lit their ass.
That was in the memorable game.
He went crazy that game, dog.
Especially when you dealt with grief. Like, I don't know how he did it.
Going that game,
it kind of helps you lock in sometimes too, where it's just like I don't want to think about that.
Like, stop talking to me, bro. Just go catch the ball, bro. Catch this motherfucker.
Stop asking me how I am. Go catch this.
I'm happy. Touchdown. Shit.
Like I ain't even involved, but like my grandfather passed over the summer, and like the Brewers pretty much went on a run from that day. I'm like, he up there doing something. He going crazy.
Boy, fix your hands. Put your feet right. There you go.